What do we want?
Change.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Change.
When do we want it?
Now.
Who do we want?
Fatmata.
Who do we want?
Fatmata.
Who do we want?
Fatmata.
That's right. Are we ready for the new year? Are we ready for stronger representation? Who can give it? That's right. Love you guys so much. We are District 5.
We are District 5.
We are District 5.
We are
District 5.
We are District 5.
We are District 5.
We are District 5.
We are District 5.
We are District 5.
That's right. What do we want?
Change.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Change.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want?
Change.
When do we want it?
Now.
That's right. We will no longer stand by. We are the change.
We are the change.
We are the change.
We are the change.
We are the change. We are the change. We are the change. We are the change. We are the change. We are the change. We are the change. We are the change. We are the change. We are the change.
We are the change.
So vote Fatmata Berry for District 5. Who are you voting for? 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 That's right. And also volunteer for, right? Perfect. Thank you, everyone. You have made my day, and I appreciate every single one of you.
We appreciate you for stepping up and stepping in and getting ready to represent your District 5 citizens.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to go right into the program. Let's see. Who can do this? It's on Facebook Live. Okay. All right. Okay. Where's that?
Oh, no, I didn't remember I was there.
Hold on. My computer died. Okay.
Oh, Kristen is switching from out where I Yeah.
So, Auntie Sophie is going to be my MC for today. So she's going to be covering all this.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Morning. It is an exciting day. It is an exciting year. We're marching into a 2022 full of potential. And the reason I say that is because we have folks who have stepped up and stepped in to represent the needs of the citizens of East County, and that's Miss Fatmata Berry. And she's the reason why we're all here today. Isn't that right? Right. Well, to get us started, I want to say a little bit about this young lady. I met her as part of the African Affairs Advisory Group, a group of advocates who looked at what was needed in our community and without waiting to be asked, stepped up and said, I can do my little bit to make a difference. And that she has been on that road, from representing within the African Affairs Advisory Group to doing things outside of the African Affairs Advisory Group to advance the needs of the community, be it immigration workshops, going to courts, be it special ed with our students. She has been there and she has demonstrated her love and her commitment to the work that needs to be done in the community to advance the needs of our community. Thank you, Fatmata. We look forward to supporting you, to getting you in the council to represent East County. On that note, I would like to welcome our campaign chair, Ms. Joanne Karamas.
Thank you, Sophie Say. I have my notes. I thought I had it memorized until I got so cold I can't even and I'm from New England. Okay. But hello, friends of Fatmata. What did I say? I have to get the T right. Fatmata. Thank you for coming this cold morning. I know you're probably asking yourselves, who is this woman up here with the funny voice and the boots and the hat talking about our Fatmata? So who is she? Well, you know, I could list my credentials, but what's important is why I am supporting this lady. I haven't known her very long before she asked me to be her campaign chair. And I was very flattered. But that isn't why I said yes. I said yes because she's probably the most authentic, compassionate, and passionate candidate you will ever meet. She fights for all people. She fights for the rights of all people. In the county, in the district, in her community, in your community. She's the type of person we need in elected office. And she's been fighting for decades. She was fighting before the running for office was even a dream. She was running when the thought of having a last-minute political op-ed or photo op was even in her mind, like some of the other candidates that are running. So this is why I'm supporting Fatmata. And as many of you know, who have known her longer, you don't say no to Fatmata. She puts a spell over you. Is that right? Am I right? And hopefully she'll put a spell over this district and this county and bring that magic to District 5. I have said this many times that some of you hadn't, but the times have found Fatmata. This is her time. This is her time. All the stars are aligned, the circumstances are right, we have new districts, no incumbents. She has
Well, yes, well, she's one of our...
Thank you,
Joanne says, thank you, Fatmata. Well, I agree with what you said 100%, Joanne, and more. Fatmata is, as you said, authentic. And that word is thrown around for people claim it.
Yes.
But you can't claim it and not walk the walk.
Right.
And she has walked the walk of authenticity. Doesn't matter how much she loves you. Okay. Yes, no matter how much she loves you, she will tell you as it is and give you a hug afterwards.
That's right.
And that's Fatmata. Next we have a woman that I have never met before, but I've followed. I've known of her, but I will not do her justice. I will not do her legacy justice. I will not do her history justice because I have not written anything. I forgot that I was going to be the MC today. I'm going to allow Ms. Fatmata, the candidate, to introduce this.
Hi, everyone. So we're a little bit out of order because we started a little bit later, and some people have been here longer, and I want to make sure that they're not freezing. So I am more than honored and blessed to invite this woman to speak, because I have admired her for so long, and I knew that doing this, she was one of the first person I reached out to even before I announced my run for the council seat. And she's always been very encouraging. She's always been very supportive. She, like people have said, right? I will say what I need to say, and that's what attracted me to her. That's what attracted, the fact that she says what is supposed to be said. Whether you like it or not, it's the truth and it's a fact. So she tells you as it is, and that made me be attracted to her and everything that she stood for. And she has built a legacy on her own that is independent of the fact that she's the widow of the amazing and wonderful Elijah Cummings. And I always like to say that because I think for too long, people link her with him, which is fantastic and great. But on her own, she's an amazing woman. She's an amazing leader. And she is somebody with a great heart and spirit. And I am so glad that she took the time to come all the way out here from Baltimore to come and be here at my kickoff and to support me. And I wanted to introduce you guys to the amazing and wonderful Maya Rocky, Dr. Maya Rocky.
Thank you, Fatmata. Thank you to every single one of you who came out today on this auspicious occasion. And I am proud today to say that I am here to endorse Fatmata Council 5. Fatmata is simply a terrific human being. Now, my namesake, Maya Angelou, once said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Well, let me tell you, Fatmata showed me who she was very early on. When I actually won the chairwomanship of the Maryland Democratic Party, Fatmata reached out to me independently, wanting to meet. So we had lunch, and she talked compassionately and very passionately about all of the issues of concern to her. She said that she was willing to work, and she asked me to put her to work. And literally, towards the end of that lunch, I was convinced that Fatmata showed me who she was, and that is a good person. Someone who is compassionate, someone who has integrity, someone who cares for her community, and who cares and feels like she can make a change. And guess what? She can.
Yes. That's right.
So when I actually, decided to shift leadership at the Maryland Democratic Party in terms of the various committees that we had, I actually named Fatmata to be the chair of our, what was the full title?
The chair of the Maryland Democratic Party Diversity Leadership Council, Continental Africans.
It's a very long.
Very long. Very long.
But Fatmata carried it well. She did a good job. And I didn't regret actually appointing her to that position. And so I know that Fatmata is a hard worker. Now, something else my namesake says, she says, nothing will work unless you do. Fatmata has shown that she is willing to work. Now listen, her background is incredible. She came to the United States at the age of 11, and she worked hard to basically get to college and become a lawyer, and then go on to found her own firm, working for people who are, immigrants and special education kids. And so Fatmata knows what it's like to be compassionate for the underdog, to fight for the underdog, and to make sure that those who society typically overlook will get a fair treatment. And so I am convinced that Fatmata will do the same thing for Montgomery County. She has lived here for a long time. She knows her neighbors, she knows the community, she knows the issues, and she will work hard on behalf of the people of Montgomery County and East County especially. So with that, I just want to say this. Fatmata is a person of integrity. She is running a campaign that she has a very likely chance of winning, and we're all here for her because we know that she can win.
Yes.
We know that she will do a good job.
Yes.
So with that, all I can say is vote Barry for District 5. I also want to say this. Give money to Fatmata Barry. I want you to come out, maybe when it's a little bit warmer, and make sure that you give your energy to her campaign by volunteering.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I just want to say this, and I don't know what your campaign slogan is, but Barry works.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Maya. Hold. You got it? I'm going to burn your glove on that. So.
Do the next one. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have the honor of having a sister friend, an advocate, a champion. Oh yes. And Fatmata is going to talk about her too. And that's Miss Cherie Bronson, who has represented us and continue to represent our interests in Maryland, in Montgomery County, in East County, and wherever you need Cherie. If it's right, she's there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, my people, Cherie Branson, when I ran in 2018, she was also running for office. And one thing you should know, many times when people are running for office, you know, you're sort of careful. You're supposed to be careful about who you support. Oh. When you're running for office, for many people, they're careful about who they support. I was really, at the time, not much of a name person. But this is what I can say. Cherie, if I remember correctly, was the first person who openly supported me. Openly supported me. And she was somebody who already she was in this seat before. And so she already had her name recognition. She didn't have to support me. And her support meant so much to me. And I've admired her even before then. Again, another woman who tells it as it is. You don't have to like it, but you tell me how it is. And these qualities, because it's about transparency and honesty and integrity. And when you have those, you tell it as it is. You may not always be pretty, and people may not always be happy about it, but you tell it as it is. And she has that. And she has her homilies that she puts out every so often that I love reading, and it just gives you this aha moment of what she puts out. And I am so honored that you've always supported me this entire 5 years and up to this point. She was one of the first people also that I spoke to when I decided to run, and she gave me so much advice about the county, about the things moving on around here, because she's been here, and she has done a great job. The small time that she was on the council, she did amazing work, and during her time in procurement, she ruffled some feathers, but she sure did. Necessarily.
Yeah.
But she sure did try to even the playing field that has not been even out here in this county. So thank you so much, Lily.
Oh, I feel like I'm running for something. Look, here's what I want. You know, today is January 22nd. And I'm going to just bring it down a little bit and then hope to take it back up. Today is the anniversary of my grandfather's death. And the reason I bring that up is because my grandfather was a council person in a small town called Shepherdstown, West Virginia. He taught me everything I know about politics. He taught me you do right by people. You trust the judgment of people who know. You work for people and you go to every corner and find out what people need. He served on that town council for longer than any other person, living or dead. And when he passed away, they named the room where the town council meets after him, and a portrait stands on the wall. This may not sound like much, but if you know Shepherdstown, you know Shepherdstown about 10% black. Okay. And so they did this in honor of him. I say all that to say this. When I met Fatmata, I decided to support her because those same values are the values that she possessed. I can think of no better place to be on this day than to be here supporting someone who I know has the values, the legacy that that's been entrusted to me and that I believe in. I met Fatmata, I don't even know when, but I do know that she served on the East County Regional Advisory Board. And I live out here in East County now, and I can tell you that this district has not gotten everything it deserves. There have been some valiant efforts, you know, Councilmember Juwan Cohen and others, valiant efforts to make sure this district gets what it deserves, but fortunately now that we have a new district, the focus can turn to where it needs to be. This is our opportunity to make sure that whoever represents this new district understands the people and the movements necessary for this district. We're not like the other places in Montgomery County. We don't need to be. We have our own culture, our own demographics that make us different from everybody. But we need good and fair representation. And that's why I'm here to endorse Fatmata. I know that she is dedicated, she is determined, she is dynamic. She will fight for the people of this district. You hear me?
Yep.
She will fight for the people of this district. And that is what we need. So I encourage you, donate, because money matters, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Work and vote for Fatmata.
Alrighty. Next up, I would like to invite Miss Brenda Brooks to come and give her remarks. And she will also introduce the speaker after her. Yes, she will. Miss Brenda Brooks is again one of the trailblazers of Montgomery County, Maryland. It was a few years ago, the first time that she ran, that I came to know of her. And then I started seeing her writings about the issues that are of import to people of Montgomery County. And I was so impressed. And I was so happy. And I was so happy to be reading those works that were so integral and so important to the work that was necessary. And everybody else that was what was required to be part of that work. And she was kind of giving just life to the words, to the needs of the community and what was required. And I've been hooked since then. I have. Brandy, welcome.
So, before Brandy speaks, this woman is a sister friend that's been amazing to me. From the time we met on the campaign trail back in 2018, 17, 18, we have maintained a relationship. Not everybody does, but we have. And she has been, I've admired so much of things she has done and said and supported. And I was just so happy that she has supported my campaign from the beginning. And I mean from the beginning, before I even did it. Just like I supported her. I was waiting for her to announce. When she finally did, I was like, so I am just so thrilled. And it's not just support. Like, you know, you have people support you. But when you have someone who is running her own race and she'll still make the time at 11 at night. Hey girl, how you doing? You know, because she knows what it means to be out there running. Especially as a woman, as a black woman, she knows what it is. She knows what it means. And she reaches out, you know? She reaches out, she offers her help, her assistance. Her and her sister are just amazing people. And I'm so glad that I have the support. And thank you so much, sister girl. And when she's done, she's introducing the next speaker. Y'all, I know the temperature's low out here, but are you fired up?
Wait.
Right, I am fired up. I am so warm and full of excitement right now because we are here at the launch of Fatmata for District 5. And that is where I want to be on this Saturday. It is amazing. You all have heard so much about just how outstanding this woman is. And so I want to keep it brief. I want to tell you just a couple of things about why this is an easy choice for me to say that I am proud to endorse Fatmata for District 5. And I want to start by talking about the fact that Fatmata is about building relationships.
Right.
And I don't know how many of y'all have tried to walk down the street in any kind of populated place with Fatmata. But you only get, maybe if you're lucky, about 2 blocks before she's got to stop and talk to someone. Because someone greeted her on the street. Someone said hello. She recognized someone. Someone asked about the work that they were doing together. And you see these conversations and people come up to Fatmata with so much joy, so much delight in being able to greet her. And that is how you know. That is how you know that authenticity that folks have been talking about is so real. Because everywhere she goes, her relationships are in evidence. Everywhere she goes, the work that she has been doing for years in this community across Montgomery County is in evidence. People love her. People honor her work. And it's beautiful to see. And it's beautiful to get to witness. But the second thing that Fatmata does is that she is all about making connections. She does not keep those relationships to herself. She does not keep the resources, the knowledge that she has to herself. She is always about making sure that folks in this community are connected to one another, that they get connected to what they need, that they make sure that people are part of a network, a community that supports us to thrive, that supports us to support ourselves and our families, to do the work that we want to do in this world. And Fatmata is all about that. She is all about finding those ways to make connections, to build new ones, and to support this wider community. And then, as you have already heard, Fatmata is about speaking the truth. And this is really important. We are at a critical moment in our county and in our country and in our world, quite frankly, where we need folks to be speaking the truth about some of the things that are going on. And Fatmata will absolutely talk about how beautiful and wonderful it is to live in Montgomery County. But she will also speak the truth about how we have not done right by East County, how we have not done right by the people of District 5, how we have not made sure that folks get to have the abundance that they need to thrive, to use their gifts, to use their skills. She will say what's right. She will talk about the wonderful things that we can do together, the amenities and resources that we have here, but she will also talk about the persistent racial and economic inequity, the inequities in health, all of the things that our communities are facing. And we need people to be telling the truth about that right now, because we need people to be working with us to solve those problems. These things have lasted for too long, and our communities need real solutions, and that starts by telling the truth about what's happening.
All right.
And Fatmata will do that, whether or not you want to hear it, whether or not you like it. And it's one of the things I love about her. And it's what means that I know that I can trust her. That I can trust her to represent this district, that I can trust her to be a colleague with me on the council. Amen.
and that the work that we are going to get to do together is going to truly and deeply connect to and support the people of this district, the people of all our communities across Montgomery County.
All right.
So again, I am really excited. I hope y'all are really excited because this woman is going to be our next council member from District 5. Our new council member, our first council member from the new District 5. And so, as many of y'all know, I am running for Montgomery County Council at Large. And so I'm really excited to introduce our next speaker, who I hope I will get to be a colleague with on the council, but who I'm also already so proud to have as one of my at-large representatives. Councilmember Will Jawando has been a fighter for this community for a long time. He has been a leader in this community, again, another truth teller and someone who really works to understand and to deeply engage with both the aspirations and the beautiful hopes that we have in our community and the challenges and barriers that we are facing in getting to those hopes. Ever since he got on the council, he has started with introducing legislation that has been addressing some of the critical issues in our county, starting with his very first bill on transparency when it comes to policing. He's continued up until the work that he's done this year on making sure renters are protected and that we don't have escalating rents right in the middle of still a pandemic where people are suffering devastating health and economic challenges. This is another person that we can trust to represent us well on the council.
Yes.
Fatmata knows because she's had a chance to work with him and work in that office and see how he does every day. And so it's my pleasure to invite Councilmember Will Jawando up.
So I know he's already been introduced. But I want people to understand, he's my former boss, but it's more than that. He has been a brother for many years, long before I ever worked for him. And his unvarnished support, I'm not going to say a lot because some of it was outside of public eye, but I've seen how passionate he's been in the defense of me, and you will never understand what that has meant to me. When you unequivocally tell people that we've all known, and you say you're supporting me, and you show the passion of it, and the emotion of either some form of anger based on what people may have said about me or put me down, your reaction meant so much to me. You'll never understand what it meant because it's showing that somebody cares for you when it's a visual reaction. It's not something that somebody thinks about. It just sort of happens. And when that happens, you know that a person cares. And I feel so honored. Besides everything that has been said about him as a county council member, but as a human being, I saw what he did while I worked for him. I knew who he was, but I saw it even more working for him on the council. And knowing that the work that he was doing wasn't just, because he's on the council, but rather because now he's on the council, he has the opportunity to do right by the people. And this is why I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm really grateful. So thank you for being here.
I'm gonna put my earmuffs back on. It's so good to be here, and I'm so. I think someone said, a couple people said, there's no other place I'd rather be. Even though it's cold, to support and endorse Fatmata Berry for District 5. I need, and it's selfish too, because I need her help.
Yeah.
And we need help on the council to do what we need to do for people. And a lot's been said about Fatmata, and I want to tell you just personally a few things about her that I've witnessed over the course of the, 10 years or so plus that I've known her. Fatmata is intelligent. She knows what she's talking about, and if she doesn't know, she'll find out. That's a key part of intelligence. A lot of people, you don't have to know everything. Intelligence is knowing you don't know everything.
Exactly.
And that you will research and find out and use your ability to know it. And I saw that in her personal and professional life as a lawyer, as an advocate for children, but also as a staff person in my office who worked on some of the most important legislation that we did. She was the lead on criminal justice reform. If anyone who knows me knows that that's something I care deeply, passionately about. And Fatmata was at the forefront of crafting and developing and advocating for those pieces of legislation. This has also been mentioned, but I want to give you another aspect of it. Fatmata is a hard worker. And, you know, I played basketball from the time I was, 8 years old through college, and I played with the Nigerian national team. I know hard work. And there's something that I used to say, and I coached at my high school. One thing I always say, and I apply it to everything in my life: you cannot teach hustle. Hustle cannot be taught. You either have it or you don't. And Fatmata has it. And you want that in an elected official. You want someone who, when that ball's on the ground, they're going to die for it. Or when that constituent calls your office, they're going to track down what happened.
Right.
And they're going to follow up. And they're going to follow up again. And they're going to call the agency and say, why haven't you followed up? And I've seen that from Fatmata in so many different ways. But I want to tell you a way that I saw it here in District 5. When I ran for the legislature in 2014, Fatmata was one of my earliest supporters, as well as several of these ladies behind me and out there. And prior to that, that team had been in place for quite a bit. And there was a delegate, Sheila Hickson, who had been in office for almost 40 years. And she had won all 27 of the precincts in District 20 for probably the last 20, 25 years. Had come in first place in those precincts. So I was running. There was a big election. And Fatmata, who's lived in White Oak, still does, said, I'm going to organize White Oak. And anyone knows anything about White Oak, we're right here, right up the street. It's one of the highest populated areas for black residents, particularly for black immigrant African residents in our county. And Fatmata knocked on, I don't know how many doors you knocked on, but thousands of doors in White Oak. And when the election came, I didn't win. I lost by 100 votes out of 40,000 cast. But we won this precinct. And Sheila Hickson was second to me in this precinct. And that was the only precinct that Sheila Hickson didn't win. She won all 26 other precincts.
Oh, wow.
And I credit to this day that to Fatmata's effort on knocking those doors, talking to those residents about why we needed a new change and a new voice in the legislature. So Fatmata works hard. And she understands the importance of grassroots advocacy, of talking to people where they are, at their doors, in their communities. You heard Brandy say you can't walk down the street without her, someone knowing her. And you want that in your elected official, because all too often you have this distance that's created. It's one of the things I loved about Elijah Cummings, is who I had the chance to be mentored by and to consider a dear friend, is people knew him and he was in with the people. And you want elected officials who do that. And I've tried to model that myself. The third thing I'll say about Fatmata is that she's not only a truth teller, because she will tell the truth, she is humble and has humility. Something that sometimes doesn't always go when you think you're right. You got a lot of people who think they're intelligent and they know everything and they're not humble, right? And a lot of politicians like that. Fatmata also has humility. She has the humility to know that she needs to learn things. If she doesn't know them, that she needs to talk to people who are experiencing things, and that she doesn't have all the answers, but she will get there with community and figure it out. And you want that in a leader. You want an intelligent, hardworking, humble leader. And that's what Fatmata Berry is. And that's why she should, out of everyone running, be the first council person from the newly created District 5. So we're going to make it. I'm so excited to be here. Give her some money. She's off to a good start. I was on her hard. I was like, you gotta get some money, because we gotta be credible. We know black women are gonna be. They're always, of anyone who runs, black women have the toughest time fundraising, have the toughest time being seen as credible. So she's done that. She's taken that first step. Those reports came out this week. She's right in the mix. She's right there. She's at the top of the leaderboard. We have to keep her there. We have to keep her there. It's expensive to run these campaigns. You know she's going to work the doors, but help her get more people, more literature. She's got this beautiful picture. Help get that in more mailboxes and on more phones. That's how she's going to win. We're in a unique COVID campaign environment. We're going to need to contact people in a lot of ways. So help get her on the council so that we can help this community I've lived in most of my life, get what it deserves and be a part of the Montgomery County Promise that should be available to every resident. Fatmata Berry is going to do it. So let's do it.
All right. Thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brandy. I love this guy.
Thank
I love
Call the
Michelle.
kids local.
Yes, Michelle wants to be there.
And without Michelle, we wouldn't have him.
No, we wouldn't.
But, you know, I love you, Will. And I am just looking forward to working the campaigns that we know we need to work to get you all in the council. Because it is important to not only talk truth to power, but to talk to those who feel powerless and empower them. And that's what you guys do. And I so admire that. Next one we have
Victoria.
Victoria. So come and tell us about Victoria.
Okay.
And
So,
what Victoria is going to be doing.
Victoria, this is Victoria, is an amazing young woman who, well, I'll let her tell you more, but I fell in love with a letter she wrote, and I just had to have her come and meet you guys. So, Victoria?
Welcome.
So, I went to Burnsville often in September, and my mother met Miss Fatmata because she had her booth and she was advocating her campaign, and she told me about it, and she thought I'd be interested in it. So recently I looked into it, and I felt compelled to email her in my support because I felt like she was advocating for the needs. I was reading her campaign, I saw what she wanted to advocate for, especially advocating for high schools in poverty because most of them consist of people of color. It limits the opportunities accessible to them, preventing them from expelling their full potential like some of their other counterparts. In the 8th grade, I wrote a research paper about health disparities in the U.S., and it became protruding to me on how black women suffer at the hands of healthcare workers. And black women are always at higher risk due to misconceptions of the healthcare system, and it's assuring to know that Ms. Fatmata we have struggled with a lot of tragedy due to the lack of concern for mental health, and it is relieving to know to get the access they need. I just want to thank you, Ms. Fatmata, for what you're doing and for allowing me to speak here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is this isn't she great? Like, you have to see the letter she wrote. Do we have my parents on there? It's not working?
For them to speak through this on
Well, I was talking to Brandy earlier, and I mentioned the Brandys of the world, the Fatmatas of the world, and the Sheilas of the world, and how they are the ones that are blazing the trail. I call them the mother elephants. The women that came before, the women that are here, and the women that we expect victorious of the future.
Hey, bro.
Because these are the women who have stood amongst
Hey,
the
bro,
brush
can you hear me?
and kind of just parted the way, and are parting the way for the teacher, for the Victoria and others
Can
like
you hear me,
her.
Mahmoud?
No,
Can you hear me?
yeah, the possibilities are endless. And of course, Brandy is standing on the shoulders of
Okay.
many.
That is with you, right?
Many
Mommy and
women
Daddy
in,
with
in
you?
Montgomery County. And you're setting yourselves up for those Victorians
connection is really
to
bad.
have those shoulders to stand up and reach higher and reach farther.
Okay, that sounded better. Okay, I can see them.
While we wait for Fatmata's mom and dad, I think they are
Yeah, I can see them. Okay.
going to
All right.
join us.
Let's see if you can hear my parents, because they want to say something.
Hi,
Can
hi,
you-
mommy. Hi, daddy.
Can you hear us, Daddy? Mommy?
Hi, how are you, everybody?
We're doing good.
So go ahead. People can hear you.
Let me stop like that.
Well, good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome you to this kickoff. And thanks very much for all the efforts you're making in supporting my daughter, our sister, our aunt, our cousin, and our friend. But as most of you have already said, Fatmata always puts other people first before herself. They're not going to be there. When she was in the 10th grade at Rosanna Academy, she used to volunteer to go out and help elderly people. He even refused me to pick her up from school because after school she goes out there and help elderly people. So all I have to say is to thank you very much, you guys, for giving her the support that she needs for her to go through this. We love you, we appreciate you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. We can't see you, Mommy. I want to see your face. People. One of my other sister friends is here, Bernice Merica North. She's running for state's attorney. She's the only black woman running, and if she wins, she'll be the first one ever. So let's support her. Yes?
Yes.
Woo! Okay? All right. So, I guess it's my turn?
Yes.
Okay. It's my turn. Somebody hold it. It's getting cold, so let's get out of here.
The next council person for District 5,
Woo! I was supposed to wear a really nice, stylish coat, but it's cold out here. So I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and I have no idea how I can ever thank all of you that are here today. And the endorsements from these amazing group of people, it's undescribable. The feeling that you guys have given me today, it's undescribable. The support I feel. But before I go any further to even start speaking and talking about issues and why I'm running and all that stuff, I'm going to try to do this without getting too emotional. So bear with me. I've actually improved a lot. See, if my family were here in person, they would tell you that I would cry in the drop of a hat. But don't let that fool you now. Just because I cry don't mean I won't lay down. So, anyway, I want to start off by thanking my team. I have an amazing group of people who have been supporting me throughout these months of running for the seat, and I don't know how I can ever thank them. I want to start off with Joanne. When she said she has not known me that long, she's not kidding. Like, we literally met virtually, mind you, virtually about what? So March, April, probably about April or so. When I was introduced to her to work with her in the Women's Democratic Club, or rather be trained by her, really. And she took me under her wing, and she helped me learn how to write for that particular group. I'm still learning, and she has been there from the beginning. When I told her I was going to be running for council, she was so excited. I was like, oh my God, why is this woman so excited? But she was so excited that I was running. And it's just amazing. I tell people, and I tell my boyfriend all the time, I'm like, it's just amazing that I met someone virtually and connected with her at such a level, and it was just amazing. And she literally treats me like I'm her daughter. And that's not something you find all the time, especially not that easily and not that quickly. And she has to buy me, even when I am a pain. Even when I frustrate her, she is still there. And I know I frustrated you so many times, but she's still there. And she doesn't waver at all, like ever. And I am so grateful to you.
I don't know how I'll ever be able to be thankful to you for
Get in
the
the council
time,
and do the work.
the time you have given and the efforts you have made and guided me. Be on the phone with me at midnight. I'm like, oh my goodness, her husband's gonna kill me. Keeping her as much as I do. So I want to say thank you for accepting to be the campaign chair and doing way more than a campaign chair normally does. Because the job description for campaign chair is just whatever they can do, is basically what it is. But she has gone above and beyond the duties of a campaign chair. And I say thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So, my next. Why are you hiding? He's always hiding. It's my treasurer. Mr. Sa.
Yes.
He's a camouflage, always hiding. Never wants to have the public view. When I say this man has been a brother, I mean a brother. Even before this, he's always been very supportive. If you ever come to my house and you see my microwave, he put it there years ago. When my microwave broke, he fixed it and put a new one for me. So he's always been there for me. And when I needed a treasurer, I reached out to him. He didn't even hesitate. He said yes. And he has been amazing. He's never worked for any campaign before in his life. Not exactly the political person, but he said yes. And all I can say is I'm so grateful. We were able to get the funds in because of every person who has been part of this campaign. Auntie Sophie, Omega, Abby, Andrea, my lead with the youth group, and now Victoria is joining her for that role.
All right.
I'm so happy of everyone who's here. My amazing advisor, Moomin Barry, the man who will talk to me about everything and anything and guide me, has guided me so much. It's amazing that a human being can be that giving, but he has always been very, very giving. I always say it's his fault that I'm even where I am today. Because when I met him in DC, he introduced me to the African Affairs Advisory Group. And the rest, as he says, history. That's how I got here, because of this man right here. And I want to thank everyone for being here. We were able to file our annual financial reports because Sa was staying up so many nights working on it. And he had so much help. We had so much help from amazing people. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who they are, so I won't unless I get clarity that I can say it. So I won't, because I don't know the rules. But amazing people who helped us put this report together and make sure that we did it right. And because of that, we were able to file it in a timely in time, not in a timely manner, but in time. And moving forward will be a whole lot. And I want to say thank you, everyone. We got 181 Montgomery County Council to donate.
Yes.
181 people.
Yes.
Montgomery County donated to our campaign, people. That's a lot of people. And I am so honored that you did that. So I'm running simply because Montgomery County, District 5, East County, needs stronger representation. Everyone talks about the fact that it's been over 40 years since Montgomery, for the past 40 years, Montgomery County, East County has been left behind. But the question is this: did we have representation? Of course we did. We had representation. We had people who were working. So why do we say that we were ignored? Because we did not have strong representation. Because although we had people in office for us, it didn't show. I want to work and represent District 5 for this basic simple fact that we need to not have makeovers. Like our library, for example. I'll start with that. So, because that's something very basic. I've always felt that when you're building libraries in other parts of the county, we should have a library that has the same level of services that you find in other places. You know, we need to have it. This is the 21st century. This is 2022. Our library was closed for the longest time, and when it opened, it was a facelift. We need more in East County. We need better schools in East County. We need newer schools in East County. We need our children to have the same education opportunities that others have in other parts of this county.
Yes.
We need that. But that can only happen if you have strong representation, people who will push and fight for your community, for your needs, for your children, for your livelihood. We have a community, a county, where we say that we are 1/3 of the population is foreign born, and if you take the children, it's about 45%. That's what we celebrate. We celebrate the fact that Montgomery County is probably the most diverse county that we have in the state of Maryland, if not in the country, right? And 4 of the top most diverse cities are here in Montgomery County. But we don't see it when it comes to equity and inclusion. We don't see it. We don't see it in the most basic of places. In the council, let's use that for an example. That's just basic. We have many others, but just the council. We don't see representation. We don't see inclusion. We don't see equity. We have 2 black men, 1 about to leave. We have no black women. We have 1 woman who's about to leave. And at the end of the day, what does that say about the county? What does that say about us? We will be having 11 council members in the council, 11. And if the women who are running right now do not win, we will have 11 men on the council. Nothing against men, obviously. But equity calls for equal representation on the council. And
Say it again.
Equity calls for equal and fair representation for all members of the community. That
Amen.
includes seeing somebody who looks like you and thinks like you. And it's only fair. We have a community that is very, very, very hardworking, but the jobs are not here. They're not here. People that live here have to go out of the area to work. We need jobs to come into District 5. And we need jobs where they pay.
Yes.
Paying jobs, proper paying jobs is what we need for our community. And the only way we can do that is if we, as representatives, God willing, I get in there, we fight to bring employers to this area.
Yep.
And as we are developing, because in case you don't know, we're in the process of redeveloping White Oak, East County. As we're redeveloping, we have to ensure and make sure that people are not pressed out of their homes, that when they bring the jobs in, it's not for others to come in and take the jobs, but rather to make it available to those who live here, whether it's by training them or bringing in jobs that fit the community that they're coming into. So those are some of the things that we have to fight for. We have to fight to protect our community. And when I say community safety, that includes proper policing. So we want our police officers to really use community policing. Boots on the ground, be available, live here, see what's happening in this community. But at the same time, protect the community. That means that the unarmed black men who have been killed on this side of town should not happen. And if it does, people should be held accountable. Right?
Yes.
They should be held accountable. And this is what the bills that Councilman Juando worked on, that I was lead on in the council as his staff, and still waiting for implementation. These bills should be implemented, and the council should call people to task, call the MCPD to task, call the executive branch to task, because they're supposed to implement this and they haven't. So when we talk about strong representation, we are talking also about immigrant rights and protections. I'm an immigrant. I came here at the age of 11. I like to say if they had dreamers back then, I would be considered a dreamer. And I believe when I look at all my opponents, I may be the only person who really talks about immigrant rights. And it's very clear about that it needs to be addressed. Our population on this side of town have a lot of immigrants, whether they're black or brown. We have many immigrants that live out here, and they work hard. And their rights also need to be protected like everyone's rights. So I want to be able to fight for that. I have fought for it. Whether it's testifying for the Trust Act, whether it's helping to write legislation in reference to that, whether it's going to Capitol Hill to fight for it, whether it's having meetings with elected officials, from the Congress to push them to do right by the immigrants who live here and pay taxes, because you pay taxes. Whether you're documented or not, you pay taxes. And those taxes go towards the keeping of all of us, and they hire people. So there are so many issues that I want to be able to cover, from environmental justice to proper education for our children, to making sure that those frontline workers in the health field are recognized and they receive the services they need, to making sure that the housing that is, by the way, housing is
a human
right. It's not a choice. It's not like, maybe we'll give you, maybe we won't. You have to have proper housing and healthy housing. Our apartments here in East County, many times are not. They have mold, they have leakages, and people are not being held accountable. You have to hold the landlords accountable. And that means pushing to make sure that the policies that are in place are implemented. And if they are not, you hold them to it. And want to make sure that our roads and transportation fit the community that we live in. People have to go out to DC, Bethesda to work. They need to be able to come back home without too much of a hassle. We don't have that proper transportation right now, and these are some of the issues that we have facing us in this county that I want to work on. And as an attorney, an immigration attorney, a special education attorney, I have the experience to do it. As somebody who has advocated in this community, I have the experience to do it. I know this area. I love this area. I've lived here for almost 20 years. March will be 20 years. I have not moved. I came here from Florida. Don't ask me why. It's the university. That's here. That's why I'm here. And because of that, I am running for Montgomery County Council District 5. I love this county. I love this area, but we need equity and inclusion in this county. We need equity and inclusion reflected in everything we do. And I want us to do that. And I'm looking for everyone to work with me, just like I want to work with you. I'm looking for everyone to join our movement, because this is a movement. Because we don't have equity and inclusion here, hardly any, right? And I want us to push so that we can get the right people on the council and work to represent our districts. Did I forget anything?
You got it.
Joanne?
You got it. There you go.
Gotta win.
I am so happy, excited to run and win this new county council seat. And I look forward to seeing all of you and working with all of you and meeting all of you and hoping that at the end of the day, God willing, I get on the council. You are part of the work that we're going to do.
That's
you
right.
Hold us accountable.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, you are electing people to work for you. You're electing people to work for you. Hold them to it. Don't back away. Make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do for you and your community. I love you guys, and I thank you for everything that you've done. Now, let's go, go, go! I want to thank the rest of the team who were not able to make it here. Some are virtually. Jojo, you see all those graphics? Halima, so many. If I start naming names, it will take too long. But I love you guys, and I appreciate you and all the support you have given me. And I could not have gotten here without you. We would not have gotten here without you. And I want to say thank you. And God bless. Oh, we're going to take a pictures.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to take pictures.
All right.
Yeah, let's start.
Oh, okay. Thank you everyone for joining us. We are going to stop the live now. We are done. I appreciate all of you. And God willing, I can get my warmers and I will start being back out here to talk to you all in my daily walks. Love you guys. Bye-bye.